let me melt from the heat of forgiveness than to burn me from the fire of despair. What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. I tend to have an extremely forgiving nature, almost to a fault. It's a side effect of trying to see everyone's perspective in the story. I even walk away from arguments where I clearly was the one who closed the door on further discussion, and only to sit alone with my thoughts and look for only my fault in myself before I even explore the fault in someone else, if I even do at all. And no, I don't do this because I'm a good person or anything. It's actually quite a selfish endeavor, because over time, I learned the power of my brain. There was a time in my life where I wanted to win arguments and be right so bad that after many such arguments, instead of looking for fault in myself, I wouldn't even think about doing that. I would sit and dissect every word and gesture of the opposition. And it made me almost a lethal weapon in such arguments, because I could pick apart any word and every reasoning and make a person question themselves. I could poke holes into any argument and find gaps in reasoning to invalidate the entire premise. I was a master at this. If I sit long enough to think about our conflict, and I direct all of my mental energy towards you and not myself, I would for sure come out a winner. But what the hell did that win even mean? What did I even win? There was no prize waiting for me, just me and my righteousness, and the other person diminished and devalued. It's not like there was an actual win registered in the relationship, just a personal, selfish one. And so I switched my post-argument recaps to be self-directed. I no longer spend that immense energy on the other person. Because sure, if I really wanted to, I could go and find the holes in their arguments and prove them wrong. But what does that get me? It doesn't get me any peace. It doesn't get me any growth. It doesn't get me anywhere. And instead, if I just sit and think about how I was wrong, how they were right, or how they were right in their own regard, what were they trying to say, or what did they mean, or what was their emotional state and condition, then not only does it have the natural effect of softening me and opening me up to that person again and naturally wanting to forgive them, but more than anything else, the benefit is that I become something that I wasn't before, that I actually take shape myself through the difficult task of seeing my own raw, ugly self and having to admit my own errors. Or even if not the errors, but to surrender to what is more important than the errors and who is wrong or right, which is the caring of another human heart, which stands above all. And for that, you must see yourself, see the truth. And this is not usually an easy process, because the heat of emotions, the clouded judgment of arrogance, will make it very challenging for you to not block your own growth, to not block your own perspective. Your ego will narrow your vision. And while that may lead to protection, it won't lead to progress. It might even lead to misery. So although I tend to lean towards forgiving, even in scenarios where I should hold firm, I just can't help myself in pursuit of self-service, because I know where the opposite leads. I often find myself asking God and asking my own spirit to head in this direction, to let me melt from the heat of forgiveness, than to burn me from the fire of despair. Because in either direction, I will find the temperature rising. And while one might burn a little, the other might leave me scorched and scarred. You can go through life if you want and collect hurts, weigh yourself down, leave a bunch of things and people unforgiven. You always have that option. You just might find it very difficult to be anything more than stationary. If you wish to travel far and fast, travel light. Take off all of your envies, your jealousies, unforgiveness, selfishness, and fears, and be free. I love you, family. Stay true always. I'll see you on the next show.